Connect Radio, playing Tom Reed, Loyal in Your Love. Sunday night, this is Chris Burks with 2 hours of the best modern worship songs on Weekend Worship. As well as amazing songs like that, I like to chat to brilliant people with brilliant stories. Tonight's guest is no different. You've heard us talking about Nazarene Theological College, NTC, for the past few months, and every now and again it's nice to catch up with students and get their first-hand experience of what studying there is actually like. Tonight is Lydia Nelson. Lydia, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I am very well. I've eaten far too much over the festive season. And I'm now looking at a box of chocolates and I don't think I can eat another one. Well, that's probably a lie. I can probably finish it off.
Give it a couple of hours.
Yeah, I might not be able to open another one, but I'll definitely finish one. Couldn't see it go to waste, Lydia.
True, very true.
So thank you for agreeing to come on and talk to us. It's always appreciated.
Pleasure.
You are studying right now at NTC, is that right?
I am, yes.
Okay, so talk to me about Nazarene Theological College. Why did you want to study theology in the first place, Lydia? What's your journey been to NTC?
Okay, so I think I would have never thought I was going to study theology, but basically my first degree a long time ago is in English literature, and I was an English teacher for a good while, and then I went to the ministry school at the church I was at that point, and kind of out of that year and the studies we did there, I really enjoyed it, and I've always been a big reader, and sort of the principal and a couple of the teachers encouraged me to explore kind of studying theology further. And I think it's also probably because I had all sorts of wrong ideas about what it meant to study theology, which were not accurate. But yes, and so basically it came out of that. But as I said, I've always been a big reader, and I do love to read and learn more about my faith. So it's kind of a natural extension of that, really, I guess. Okay,
so obviously being a teacher, you've already done the whole further education, higher education thing already. So this is like your second time round.
Yeah, it's more, at least. Yeah, no, when I did my kind of master's at NTC, that was actually my second master's. So, had some funny conversations with people about that kind of why on earth do you want to do another master's? But basically, I knew it was the right thing for me to do at that point. So I did my English degree, another master's, and my PGCE, not all kind of together, but that's what I'd done study-wise before I came to doing my master's at NTC.
Amazing. Lydia, talk me through your faith journey. When did you start to hear that little voice in your head grow louder and louder and louder till you couldn't put it off? Yeah.
So I was very blessed in that I grew up in a Christian family, and a family with like a strong faith life, I guess, and faith heritage. But yeah, I grew up going to church every Sunday with my parents. I was quite young the first time I sort of prayed to commit my life to Christ. But I think that there was a bit of fear in that, to be honest with you, so I skipped. But then I think when I was 9, I had an experience at some kind of kids' worship event. It was part of what I imagined was Spring Harvest now, but I just knew it was a big Christian thing that we went to in my head. But I had like an experience in worship is the best way I can put it, where I just really felt the presence of God. And then I guess over time, just for me, a big part of my faith journey is just spending time with God. And I love, to express my worship in lots of ways, but I love it when we're gathered together with music, but I also love to do it creatively, and just also to get into reading my Bible. But yeah, I'd say from the age of 9 in particular was probably where I had like some sort of encounter, if I can use that phrase.
Talk to me about NTC then. What's it like as a place to study?
NTC is a really great place. It is very warm. I think there's a really, really strong sense of community and kind of family. And, you know, I say that as someone, when I was doing my MA, I did the slightly crazy thing of doing my MA full-time and working part-time in a new professional job, which, you know, that was interesting.
Yeah, like a challenge, Lydia. Never an easy route.
Yeah. So, but even for me, so I wasn't necessarily on campus that much, but I would say even for me, just the warmth of the people, the strong sense of community. And I think also there's almost, there is kind of an atmosphere of worship, I think, that is in the spaces. And maybe that's because NTC is obviously an academic community, but also sees itself very much as a worshipping community. And I think you can feel that regardless of what tradition or, you know, background you come from.
What's the plan for the future, Lydia? What do you see the path as that God has called you to do? What's next after this at NTC?
Good question. So I am still quite early. I'm in my second year of my part-time PhD. And I do that alongside working for the Boaz Trust, if you've heard of them.
Yes.
So I don't exactly know because I have quite a few years to go, but things that I enjoy and things that I'm exploring and getting experience in would be, helping with some of the teaching. So using that teaching experience I have, but in a different way. So, for example, in January, I'm helping teach one of the MA modules, and then another one kind of in the spring. I love research because I love to learn. I love finding out new things, and I tend to, I just tend to be attracted or involved in new things is the best way I can put it. So I like the way that there's that opportunity to see what there could be, to see possibility, to see potential, to see how it might develop. So I don't know if those might, carry on and develop beyond the PhD. But then I would also like to do something that is keeping me engaged with the community, I guess. And one thing I'm not doing at the moment, which I do love and miss, is I did enjoy working with young people. So whether that might in some way come in, I don't know. So potentially it will be a mixture of a few things. We'll see.
That's amazing, though. Really exciting that it's it never is really down to us, I suppose, is it? It's down to God to decide what we're up to next. But it's amazing that you're really open to whatever it could be. Which is really exciting because it could be so many different pathways that you go down.
Absolutely. And I think I've learned from experience that, we can have our plans, but He's got the best one. And obviously there's always free will. But, for example, I was never, ever, ever going to be an English teacher. Like, if you asked me when I was 18 and I went to do an English degree, and people asked me, I was like, no, because everyone asked me that. And so I was really resistant against it, and I didn't go and train until I was like 25. And it was absolutely the right thing for me to do with my life for that time and that period, the way that it equipped me and the experiences and skills I got and the way it developed me and the privilege of getting to speak into and shape lives of the next generation. It was amazing, but it's definitely not what I would have planned.
No.
So I think that I am definitely seeking to just be in tune with Him and be, kind of in the best place for me at the right time.
Yeah, Lydia, everything happens for a reason. And we all have different experiences. We go through different jobs and life opportunities. And then at the end, when we get a big career move or when something happens and we have that big moment in our life, we look back and say, actually, this is where I've always been supposed to be. This is where God has led me to. And I've gone through all of these things to get to this point. Yeah. So, you might, you never know, you might end up in youth and children's ministry and just go, oh, well, that's why I was a teacher for a while. Or you just never know, do you? And it's just those things that happen along the way to get to the end goal that God has got planned for us. And that's why I love chatting to people, Lydia. I just love to hear their stories and how they get to places. And that's what I love to hear about. Lydia, good luck.
Thank you.
with the rest of your studies. Good luck for next year. I won't say have a lovely New Year's Eve, because I imagine it'll either be staring at the telly, the four walls, or a Zoom party.
Yeah.
Something
like that.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Well, Lydia, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. And I wish you a very happy and healthy 2021, and I wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you. And you too. And thanks for having me, and have a brilliant Christmas and New Year.